There are around 5,200 mammal species worldwide, all of which possess hair and mammary glands. In addition, all mammals have heterodont dentition, synapsid skulls with one temporal fenestrae, a thick integument, and external earlobes, called pinnae. Hair derives from epidermal skin tissue and is made of keratin proteins. Hair is important for thermoregulation, with some hairs acting as sensory receptors, like whiskers on cats. Hair can also stand on end to make the animal appear bigger than it really does, except us humans have lost this feature, and now we only just show goosebumps. Hair can also be a form of social signaling. Heck, even we use hair for this. Mammals have several different glands on the surface of the skin. First is the sebaceous gland, which produces sebum to make skin and hair more waterproof and lubricate the hair, making it more pliable. These are found all over the body. Eccrine sweat glands produce sweat to help with evaporative cooling. Some mammals lack them altogether or only have them in specific areas, like the foot pads on dogs. Primates have eccrine sweat glands all over the body. Apricine sweat glands produce pheromones and body odor. These are prominent in skunks and some people. We have them too, and modern society tends to like to suppress our natural odors, hence the deodorant aisle. Mammary glands are modified sweat glands in all mammals that secrete milk. Most mammals have nipples that act as a direct access point for young to retrieve that said milk. Monotremes, which are egg-laying mammals, sweat out milk and young lap it up. Mammal jawbones are made of one large bone called the mandible. We have heterodont dentition with differing teeth types: molars, premolars, canines, and incisors. We also have modified facial muscles that allow us to chew, which is only seen in mammals. Mammals are diphyodonts, and if they have a set of baby teeth, replaced by adult teeth as they age. Most vertebrates are polyphodonts, and that they replace their teeth throughout their life. Most tetrapods have a single auditory ossicle called the stapes that transmits vibrations as auditory cues. In mammals, these are the three auditory ossicles called the malleus, incus, and stapes, which provide greater auditory messaging. In addition, most mammals have a funnel-shaped pinnae to bring in more sound. In other words, we have earlobes. Mammals have a four-chambered heart, just like birds, but this is a result of convergent evolution. In addition, there are specialized cardiac cells that act as pacemaker for the heart. Mammal red blood cells also lack nuclei to allow for more oxygen to be carried by each red blood cell. Mammals have a urinary bladder and a complex kidney that makes urine that has a high concentration of solutes. Their digestive and urinary waste leave from separate areas. Thank goodness for that. There are two occipital condyles that attach the skull to the vertebrae and allow for head to turn. They also have a secondary palate, which is known as the roof of the mouth, allowing one to be able to breathe and eat at the same time. The nasal cavity has many folds that help to warm and moisten air before it reaches the lungs. Mammals have three pelvic bones fused together to make the pelvic girdle. There are also 7 cervical vertebrae, except in manatees and other mammals, which only have 6. And yeah, even giraffes have 7 neck vertebrae. Like modern reptiles, mammals have a diaphragm and thoracic muscles used to draw in air for respiration. The mammalian brain is an evolutionary feat, as the cerebrum is the largest region and highly folded. In addition, there is a series of nerves that connect the two halves of the brain called the corpus callosum, which allows for the integration of motor, sensory, and cognitive functions between them. Prior to the Jurassic period and the Permian period, synapsid reptiles like Dimetrodon existed that were likely endothermic due to having these large sails. This animal, often grouped with dinosaurs, was distantly related from them and was more so related to ancestor of mammals. Mammals are the only surviving synapsid animal and evolved from reptilian synapsids as early as the Triassic period. The ancestor to all mammals is thought to be a synapsid reptile called the cynodont. Like mammals, it had a synapsid skull with heterodont dentition. Mammals are endothermic and therefore require more food to maintain their said lifestyle. Chewing muscles evolved to help mechanically break down food to access more nutrients and energy. Cheeks develop as a way to hold food in the mouth while chewing, and the secondary palate allows the mammals to breathe and chew simultaneously. One transitional animal between therapsid reptiles and mammals is a group called the Morganucodonts. They superficially appear rat-like and were likely nocturnal insectivores, feeding when dinosaurs were asleep. Like modern mammals, they had heterodont dentition and two sets of teeth. Mammals underwent adaptive radiation after the dinosaurs died off 65 million years ago. The Cenozoic era, our current era, is often called the Age of Mammals. So there are three major clades of mammals: monotremes, marsupials, and eutherian mammals. Monotremes represent an ancient group of mammals with only 5 living members today, all located in Australia and New Guinea. Monotremes lay leathery eggs similar to reptiles instead of giving live birth, like most mammals. Monotremes do retain their eggs for 2/3 of development before laying them, however. When young are born, the mother secretes milk from her skin and the young lap it up, as monotremes lack nipples. One species of monotreme is the duck-billed platypus. The other 4 are echidnas. The next group of mammals are known as the marsupials, with 2/3 of them living in Australia. These include kangaroos, koalas, bandicoots, Tasmanian devils, and wombats. Another hotspot for marsupials is South America, where they have several species of opossum. The Virginia opossum is one of the few that made its way to the United States and Mexico and is our only native marsupial. Marsupials do not lay eggs. Instead, they retain their offspring for a short time in utero. Afterwards, they are born and head to a pouch on the mother. Here they receive milk and continue development. Australia and New Guinea lack any native placental mammals due to being separated from the other continents for millions of years. Between Indonesia and New Guinea, there's a famous Wallace line, named for Alfred Russel Wallace, as he noticed a distinctive difference in the animal groups between Australia, New Zealand, New Guinea, and Southeast Asia. Most mammals are placental mammals and are named for having a placenta to support offspring in utero. The placenta is a modified chorion and allantois of the amniotic egg, providing direct nourishment and gas exchange to the offspring from the mother. Eutherian mammals are quite diverse in appearance, with anywhere between 18 to 20 different orders. Eutherians are split into 2 major clades. Allantogeneta includes the elephants, hyraxes, manatees, anteaters, armadillos, and sloths. The other clade is Boreoeutheria, which include the rest of the animals and can be further split into 2 clades. The Euarchontogliers, which include the following orders: Scandentia, or tree shrews, the rodents, or the largest order making up almost half of all mammals, Lagomorpha, which includes the rabbits and the hares, primates, including the monkeys, great apes, and humans, and in the other large clade is Laurasiatherian, and these orders include Perissodactyla, which includes the rhinos and horses, Artiodactyla, including cows, giraffes, pigs, and hippos, Cetacea, which includes the whales, and sometimes the whales and cetaceans are included with Artiodactyla, as the ancestor of whales was a land-dwelling, even-toed ungulate. Then there's order Carnivora, including the dogs, cats, bears, and weasels, and finally, the bats, the only flying mammal that exists, which retrieved its flight from convergent evolution. In our next video, we'll be looking at the origins of humanity by looking at the evolution of the primates.